Hola y bienvenidos al video a AR conjugation. We've already talked about conjugation and what it means to conjugate a verb. What it means is to simply change the form of the verb to match the subject pronoun. So if I think about the infinitive to be in English, I'm not going to say I be, I'm going to say I am. I change the verb to match the pronoun. I'm not going to say you be, I'm going to say you are. I match the verb to match the pronoun. We've done this with two verbs in Spanish, ser and estar. So I know for ser that if I want to match the yo form, I'm going to make it soy. And if I want to match the to form, I'm going to make it eres. For tener, if I want to make the nosotros form, I'm going to say tenemos. And if I want to make the vosotros form, I'm going to say tenéis. It's very much the same thing, except for now we're going to learn rules that we can apply to almost every infinitive verb that ends in AR. This works for what are called regular AR verbs. There are some irregular ones that you'll learn a little later on, but most of the verbs that we've learned so far that end in AR are regular, so you can conjugate them using this method. It's really cool. All right, the first thing, there's two steps. And the first step, which you really do need to write down, is to take off the AR to create what's called the stem. So I have two words here. I have preparar and estudiar. Preparar is a cognate. It does mean to prepare. If I was going to make the stem, I take off this AR, and I'm going to write P-R-E-P-A-R, prepar. That's the stem. Our second one is estudiar. Hopefully you remember that estudiar means to study. If I take off that AR, I'm left with the stem estudi, E-S-T-U-D-I. So that's the first step. Take off the AR to make the stem. The next step is to add the correct ending to the stem. The ending will be different for every subject pronoun. For yo, I would add an O. For tu, I would add an AS. Él, ella, usted, I add an A. Nosotros, I add an AMOS. Vosotros, I add an A with an accent, IS. Remember I told you the vosotros form almost always has an accent? And the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, I add AN. These endings are very important. You need to memorize them. You must write them down. If you need more time writing them down, pause the video and get them into your notebooks. One of the ways that I memorized this was by chanting. I would say it in my head so that I could hear it, so that I could remember what it was. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Try it with me. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. All right, now all I have to do is take my stem and add the ending I want. So let's say I want to do preparar in the yo form. I'm going to take prepar, and I'm going to just simply add my ending, which is an O, and I get yo preparo. Now instead of meaning to prepare, I'm saying I prepare. If I want to do estudiar to the AS form, I'm going to take my estudi, and I'm going to add AN, because that's what the chart tells me to do. So ellas estudian. They, group of girls, study. That's all there is to it. It's not that difficult. The hardest part is remembering the endings. Let's try it. I've left the verb chart up here for you, or at least the endings chart up here for you. So you need to figure out the stem. You need to add the correct ending. Pause the video, write these in your notebook, and then start the video again to get the answers. Okay, the answers to the first one. I want to create the yo form, so the first thing I'm going to do is make the stem of necesite, and then I add O for necesito. For number two, I want to do nosotros. So I want to make the stem us, US, that's all there is to it, and then I'm going to add AMOS for estudiamos. And for number three, I want to make the to form, so I'm going to make the stem escuch, and then I'm going to add AS for escuchas. Yo necesito, I need. Nosotros usamos, we use. Tú escuchas, you hear. Let's try another few. Again, pause the video, write these in your notebook, and then start the video again to get the answers. All right, so for number one, I want to say ella. So I'm going to make my stem habl, and then I'm going to add an A, habla. For number two, I'm going to do ustedes. So I'm going to make my stem mir, M-I-R, and then I'm going to add my AN for miran. So that means you all watch. And then the third one, llevar, I want to do that to the usted form. Llevar means to wear or to carry. So I want to say you carry or you wear. I'm going to make my stem lleve, and I'm going to add an A for lleva, you wear. One more. Again, write this in your notebook. Pause the video until you're ready for the answers. All right, number one, I'm using the vosotros form. Buscar means to look for. So I want to say you all look for, and I'm in Spain. So I'm going to make my stem busc, and I'm going to add ice, buscais. Number two, sacar means to get or to receive or to get out. So I want to say I get out, like I get out my notebook. So I'm going to do my yo form. I'm going to make my stem sac, and then I'm going to add an O, saco. And then number three, it's ellos entrar. Entrar is a cognate. It does mean to enter, so I want to say they enter. I'm going to make my stem entrar, and then I'm going to add my an, entran, ellos entran. That's all there is to it. If you understand that, you are very good at AR conjugation. Memorize those endings, and you're going to be able to conjugate any regular AR verb you come across, whether you know its meaning or not. Buena suerte. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.